The nomination of Indian-Oregon Muslim youth Zohran Mamdani by the Democratic Party for the New York mayoral race has sparked a new legal and political debate. His selection is not merely a personal success, but a living testament to how democratic societies create genuine opportunities and transparency for minorities. In a city like New York, home to more than 8.4 million people, including around 1.6 million Jews, the political representation of a Muslim candidate reflects the openness of Western democracy, where identity, religion, ethnicity, or language do not define one's worth, but ability, conviction, and dedication do. Zohran not only voiced socialist ideals, but also criticized Israeli policies, called for the arrest of Netanyahu, and openly opposed Trump's brand of extremist politics. Despite these bold positions, he received widespread political backing, proving that in a system like America's, there is still space for truth, conscience, and courage, not just slogans. This phenomenon is not limited to New York. Across the United States, numerous Muslim and non-white minority figures have emerged, shaping politics, social services, and policymaking. Keisha Ram Hinsdale of Indian descent became a senator in Vermont. Rashida Tlaib, a Palestinian-American, represents Detroit in Congress, while Ilhan Omar, a Somali refugee, was elected from Minnesota to the U.S. House of Representatives. These women, despite their diverse backgrounds, have found not only representation, but influence in American political life. In Canada, inclusion of Muslims and minorities is equally visible. Omar Al-Gabra, born in Syria, became a member of the Canadian Parliament and later the Federal Minister of Transport, leading legislation against Islam. Mustafa Farooq, as head of the National Council of Canadian Muslims, regularly appears before parliamentary committees advocating for Muslim rights and safety. Young Pakistani-origin leaders like Sulman Khansa are active in Calgary's municipal politics. The United Kingdom presents another powerful example through Sadiq Khan, a Pakistani-origin Muslim who has been elected twice as the mayor of London, one of the world's most diverse cities. During his tenure, he has spoken openly against Islamophobia, defended minority rights, supported refugees, and stood firmly with the Palestinian cause. Muslim women such as Nashan Zar Sultana also sit in the British Parliament, proudly representing their heritage while speaking for the oppressed, whether Kashmiri or Palestinian. The common thread among all these stories is that democracy gave them a platform to participate, progress, and influence society without regard to their religion, race, or origin. This is not just an ideal written in constitutions, but a reality lived every day in functioning democratic systems. When compared with the situation in most Muslim-majority countries, the contrast is painful. In Iran, only Shia Muslims can become president. Sunnis are disqualified by law. In Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are denied even basic civil rights, let alone citizenship. In Pakistan, Ahmeds have been constitutionally declared non-Muslims, stripping them of their political and religious freedom. Across Egypt, Syria, and many Arab nations, minorities play little to no visible role in politics, media, or public representation. That is why Muslims around the world continue to migrate to the West, seeking education, employment, healthcare, religious liberty, and political participation that their own countries often deny them. The irony is striking. The same nations we label as anti-Islamic imperialists or conspiratorial are the ones where we freely practice our faith-built mosques, where hijab observe, Ramadan, and even protest in solidarity with Palestine. Freedoms we frequently cannot exercise without fear in our own lands. A Pakistani professor in China married a local woman, fathered 3 children, yet even after a decade, he still has no right to permanent residency or citizenship. Meanwhile, several European countries such as Italy, Portugal, and Spain grant legal status to undocumented immigrants after 10 years. It is an undeniable truth that human rights and civil liberties are more deeply rooted in Western democracies than in most Muslim states. According to a recent report in an international scientific journal, if the United States stopped providing global development aid, nearly 14 million people in developing countries could die from hunger and lack of medical care. Yet this same America is often accused by the Muslim world of being the epicenter of Islam. We must ask ourselves, why do we desire to live in the very nations we criticize? Why do we wish for our children to study at universities in the United States, Canada, or the United Kingdom? Why do we seek citizenship, jobs, and safety in these countries while condemning their systems as corrupt or hostile? This contradiction will persist until we acknowledge reality. Western democracies have given us what our own systems have taken away: equality, justice, and opportunity. Figures like Zohran Mamdani, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Sadiq Khan, Zara Sultana, and Omar Al-Gabrestan, as living proof that when a society upholds justice, equality, and access, minorities become not a burden, but an asset. This is the path that advances humanity, and it is a truth we must accept, for without it, we will remain lost in the darkness of resentment and denial.